Well guys, here we are, right in the thick of it. Recently, we had a pretty bad ice storm. I got stuck in my house, had to take a day off of work because all the schools were closed. And couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I was kind of bored during the day, and we went out and shoveled, did that kind of thing. And then I said, I got a chunk of wood in the garage. I'm going to go ahead and shovel it, chop it up and make a spoon. And I realized how much I missed carving. I hadn't done a spoon in a while. And I actually made one that I'm pretty proud of. Here, I'll give you a look at it in a second here. But so I got on the phone after this, spoke to a buddy of mine, asked him if we could come out onto his land and chop down a birch tree and use it for carving wood. He said, yeah, no problem. He asked me to stay away from the main trail because he doesn't want some of the other people he allows on the land to go around and do it. I told him I'd carve him a spoon or two later on if that's what he wanted. And he said, yeah, sure, sounds like a deal, but I owe him a steak. So that said, sounds like a good deal to me. So we got this guy here. He's talking about possibly putting a trail along this ridge here eventually, so we're going to go ahead and take this guy down, one of the birches and many of the other trees that are around here. We're going to take that guy down, cut off a couple of pieces, throw them in the sled and haul him out of here. But I'll show you the kind of projects I'll be planning on making with this bit of wood here. Hang on a second. All right, so this is the spoon that I carved. You can take a look at that. I did all that with my Puko knife and my Makatogan. I did a nice little ridge line up the back there. Hopefully this is all coming out all right for you guys, and my big ugly face isn't screwing up the nice woodwork. But yeah, that was a spoon that I carved. And then a while back, I carved this little cooksa out of an old birch burl, but unfortunately, as I got down, I kind of stopped because the burl had a crack in it, so I had to give that up. But this was my original cooksa that I made. This was out of a piece of birch as well, and it's getting a little worse for wear now. It's got a bunch of dings and bumps in it, but I'd like to make another one of these guys. But today, we're going to take that down. We're going to fire up an Uberluden stove, right?
Stoker.
Yeah, the
Stoker. Stoker.
And we're going to have some mint chocolate tea in it. So that said, we're going to go ahead and get to work. And just before that, I'll show you the tools that I'm going to be using. So, all right, I brought my silky saw in case we want to do a little bit of limbing. Picked this up, and don't have that much experience with it, but there's a few things I want to mention about this that gets, I think, a lot of people into trouble with these saws that I discovered. And I know there's a lot of talk about being them cut on a pole and you shouldn't push with them and all that stuff, but regardless of that, whether you're pushing down with them or not on the pole, anyway, it don't matter. We'll get into that later. So, tools I brought today: silky saw, Gomboy 240. Brought my Cold Steel Trail Boss, my ATO custom here, and my most favorite saw on the planet, my Agawa Canyon Boreal 21. This thing is an absolute workhorse, and this is probably what we'll take that tree down with today. So yeah, let's give you a look at what we're looking at here. So the birch we chose is here. It's about I don't know, I guess 6-7 inches down at the bottom, which is a nice thickness for spoon carving of many different sizes. So we're going to go ahead with the spoon carving with this guy. I don't think we have the equipment nor the means to haul out any pieces bigger than this, even in the sled. It was a tough going with just my gear in my sled. I can imagine what it's going to be like when we have two nice big chunks of wood in there. So anyway, when we drop her down, it's going to hopefully go down over there. That's the plan anyway. If I go over on this side, which would probably be easier, it's going to land right into big trees and get all hung up and stuck. So we're going to try to drop her off down the hill here, then we're going to swing around and see if we can not get that clean out of the way. So before we get started, we're going to really step down all this snow here. So once it starts to go, we have a safe area to run away to, and we won't get hung up in the snow because sometimes this stuff could be unpredictable, and I don't want to have a tree falling on me or Jesse. So we'll clear it all out, and as we're getting close, I'll have Jesse move clear out of the way, and then we'll go from there and hopefully have a nice safe drop and get this tree down and start hauling it out and having some tea. Oh no. I don't know.
You got the silky. Oh! There it goes! Right. Mark, did you make any more noise?
No, but it went exactly where I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Well, mission accomplished. Unfortunately, when I put my saw down, it slid along the ice and went all the way down the valley. Take a look at this.
Thickness of the ice is actually hurting my leg.
You okay? Huh? I feel so bad right now. That right there is a damn good friend. Let me tell you. So, about a couple weeks ago, I got started talking to a buddy of mine, Craig, over at Maplehouse Knives, and he was asking me if he could send me over a shirt. And I'm like, yeah, sure. He said they sent it to him, and it was a little bit too big, and he's like, oh, I think it might fit you if you're interested. So let me give you a look at the shirt. This is badass. Give me a second. It's pretty cool. It's got the Maplehouse Knives logo right here on the chest. It's got another one over there by the back, and it fits me absolutely perfect. So thank you very much, Craig. But I was thinking, you know, all said and done, now that I got your nice new shirt here, you're going to need a model to show these off so you can sell them. So here's a couple of pics that I decided to come up with, and you tell me what you think. So Craig, just to let you know, buddy, I am available if you're looking for a model to sell these shirts for you. But all seriousness there is, guys, I gotta tell you, if you are looking for the Picasso of knife building, if you are looking for the most incredible looking, functional, fit and finish knife excellence, you really got to go over and check out Craig from Maplehouse Knives. This dude is off the hook. Really, check him out. I'm going to attach some pictures of his work at the end of this video, but they're just pictures. I really suggest you head on over to his YouTube channel, subscribe to him, and actually check out when he's showing his knives on his videos, and you actually see the work and the detail, and not my blurry screenshots. But check out his channel. I can't say more about it. Really, just go check him out. His stuff is really some of the most beautiful knives I've ever seen. Well, guys, so we're gonna set up on this piece of birch here. We're gonna try to cut this silky with the silky, and I want to show you one of the problems that I found that where a lot of these get snapped. As you can see here, I'll show you a quick view of this later, but the branch is actually coming off and it's sticking off the snow like this. It's not down or touching anything on the other end where you cut. And if you're going to use silky saws, that's how you have to use them. If you are touching 2 points on either end and you try to saw through it, even though the back of the blade is thin and the kerf is thicker, while you're cutting through, if the piece pinches in and you try to go forward, because the blade is so light and flexible, it will snap on you in a second. This way, you don't have to worry. This way, if you have your piece up on the ground, whether you push forward or hard or not, it's not going to make a difference. So let's go ahead. I'll put the camera down and we'll saw through this guy with the silky and see how she does. You don't need to push on it.
Well, I might hold it more steady. I don't know.
So that's a nice, smooth, clean cut. Hopefully you could see that. Silky took care of that, no problem. But if there was pressure on this side while we were on this side over here while we were cutting, and that log pinched up and closed that gap, we would have buckled and snapped. So that's something to be aware of when you're buying a Silky saw. That is why they break. And if you could avoid that and take down your pieces of wood in a proper manner, and then have the ends propped up off the side of something and then cut, like passing another log under here and continue to move it up, you'll never have a problem. There you have it. Frozen solid yellow birch. Boreal 21. Just to talk a little bit about this Hagawa Canyon. I know that there's guys out there that believe the buck saws to be the inferior technology nowadays, and you know that these new Silky saws are good, and they are. I'm not saying they cut like a mofo, but that said, I could take this thing, throw it around, beat it up, not have to be careful about how I cut things with it. The only downside I could say about this thing is, if I'm really being picky, it's slightly heavier than the Silky, and it's a little bit hard to pack. But if I'm carrying my Teton Sport backpack, I slide this down one of the slip-throughs behind the pockets, and it fits in there perfectly. So that eliminates that issue. So just my thoughts, guys. I know there's going to be people that are going to be like, no, Silky's the best, and I get it. That's what you like. That's what you like. I'm just telling you why I like these guys. Boreal 21. If you're looking for a light use packable saw, yeah, go for a Silky. Just be careful how you use it. If you're going with for anything that's going to be from light to medium, and you want something you can beat the crap out of, Boreal 21 all day. I gotta tell you, inside that little stove there, that had to be the hardest fire I've lit in a long time. Because we've had extreme cold, all the water had frozen inside of all the material that we're using out here. Even the birch bark was soaking wet. Took multiple tries, tried feather sticks, tried everything. All the dries still had moisture in them, and they'd light up for a second and burn out. It wouldn't stay lit long enough, but we got her done. 4 Directions bushcraft, baby. Can't go wrong. Oh shit, it's 3 o'clock already. We have to bail on the tea.
Yeah.
We might have to.
Cake?
Yep.
We eat cake and go?
We might have to eat cake and go. Unfortunately, guys, finally got everything, all the fires set up, all that stuff, and time got ahead of us a little bit. Didn't realize what kind of time we had left. So anyway, mission accomplished. We got out here, we cut down a tree safely, and got our pieces. And my buddy's gonna come up here later on and harvest some of that wood for firewood, or possibly he'll just put it aside so we can have some more later on. But he'll be able to come in and out here with a skidoo. We can't do that, so that's that. Anyway, we got to pack on, get out of here before I get too much in trouble with Mrs. ATO. So we'll have to talk to you guys soon. And tomorrow, I'll be heading out for an ice fishing trip with Mr. Jesse here. And we're looking for some big toothy critters. So we'll be back with another video real soon. You guys take care. Get out, explore. Well, on the way back to the car, almost at the trail. Whew. Pulk's got a lot of weight in it, and it's moving fine, but the conditions are treacherous. We got about a good ½ inch of ice on top of the snow, and under it's really fine powdery stuff, so every time we take a step you sink in and you break through. Without the snowshoes, this would be absolutely horrible. But anyway, almost there, so I'm gonna keep on trekking. Hopefully make it out alive.